It is now April 3rd. I am officially on Easter half term. So I thought I would vlog again for these 2 weeks that I'm off, as I have done in the past. And first up, I'd like to remind you that I have a tutorial on the channel, which is for some Easter decorations. So I'll get those out later to just show you what they actually look like. I think they're kind of buried behind me, but there we go. That's what happens when you have too much stuff. So my aim for these 2 weeks is to try and organise the mess that is meant to be my studio space, because it has become a dumping ground, and I've probably mentioned this before, but yeah, we're basically out of space. I need to sort it so I can sit in there with my crafts rather than have it spread all over the living room. Yeah, so it's going to be a case of getting everything out, having a look at what I've actually got. I think my friend recommended that I get some really big, and when I say big I mean like big, clear storage boxes to put my yarn in so I can actually see what I've got, which isn't a bad idea because at the moment it's all in bags, so I don't know. I mean, I know where most of it is, but if it was in big clear storage boxes I'd just be able to see it straight away and I can stack them rather than having bags and bags of stuff. So I think that's what I'm going to do later today. I'm going to go and get some big boxes. Morrison's were doing some, so I'll have a look there first because it's Sunday, which means it's free parking for my Morrison's. Normally it's £1 to park because it is right next to the train station, so I think it's the kind of counter people parking there to use the train station during the week. So that's one of the things on my list. What I have also realised this morning, having tried to clear some of the footage off of my phone, is that I have not done the vlog for the Stitch Festival, which was in the beginning of March. So that is one of the first things I need to do. But I also need to podcast for March. So there's a lot of things I need to do just today. Yeah, what I might do is once the hair is dry, because it's only about 9:30ish, so, and I've got Zoom at 10 as well with Coffee Morning, which is run by Gemma of the Midnight Diary. All they're going to see though is me running around moving stuff this morning, so yeah. I have done a quick video of what it currently looks like without the extra table and the washing stuff in there, so the one of the errors and the washing basket, because they just get thrown there just so that they're out of the way. So I've done a quick video of what it currently looks like, and I'll do like mini videos in between getting stuff out and how much space there actually is supposed to be in there. I know there's a couple of bits I do need to get rid of, so I'm really hoping I can get those out, photograph them and get them onto Marketplace. Yeah, so that is where we're at the moment. Yesterday was Saturday, so I went out with my friend Emma. We spent most of the day together. We haven't spent a day together all for the whole of March. We went to the Stitch Festival, but she was working, so I was wandering around on my own. We did manage to have lunch together, but that was about it. So yeah. So it was just nice to actually get out yesterday together. We went for breakfast like we always do on most Saturdays. We then went and saw some friends, and then went to the yarn shop, and I didn't buy anything, probably because I spent way too much last week at East Anglia Yarn Festival. So I think I'm okay. Anyway, after that we went for lunch at the local pub because they've changed their menu, so I thought we'd have a nice nice dinner there. And then I dropped her home. That was my day. And then watched a bit of Critical Role last night when I got home. So I finished off an episode. I think I was halfway through one. So I finished that off last night, and then I was so tired I just went to bed. That's pretty much how my April has started. So yes, I have 2 weeks off. I'm going to try and do a little bit of something every day and see how it goes from there, really. Other than trying to organise the studio space, other things that I need to do for these 2 weeks are I need to write up a pattern for the Sunshine Beret that I finished just over a week ago now, because the Snowflake Beret pattern is out. It's with the cozy boxes, which went out before Christmas, so I need to get that published somewhere. Might need to open up a pay hip store, but I'm not sure yet. Yeah, so that needs to go live somewhere, and then I need to write up the Sunshine version and get that off to be tested. And then I need to work some more on my Mighty Samurai, because I have only done 13 hours over March, and it's supposed to be an hour a day. So most of my March will be probably working on that. I have been asked though to make a couple of samples for my local yarn shop. So I'm going to be knitting a shawlette, which is a free pattern by Gemma of the Midnight Diary. So I'm going to be working that up in a ball of Aran, and we never know, maybe there'll be some other projects as well. I might even make some more Easter stuff. I do have a couple of decorations that I started playing around with pattern designing for, so we'll have a look and see if I can get those any further along as well. You never know, they might end up as patterns on the channel too. Anyway, I'm going to go and sort this out, podcast, and then join Zoom, hopefully, and start tidying. Bye. Okay, so here we have all of the bags that I pulled out from the dumping ground / studio space. These all have yarn of some description in them. And then I decided to actually start filling up the boxes. So the first one you can see is mostly DK, mostly commercial yarn as well. So the majority of this you can see coming out of the grey bag is all Deramores. So it is their new Studio DK, and it was just before they closed that I actually got every single colour that they have in the Studio DK. And you can tell it's pretty almost full. I did find a few other balls that were DK that I decided to put in there as well. So there's some glitz, I think there's a bit of Starcraft and some King Cole Big Value as well, just because they were odd balls that I had lying around. So that was one box done. Now it was time to move on to hand dyed yarn. So the first box again is DK. It's all hand dyed or wool based yarn. So on the right you can see some West Yorkshire Spinners, which is the Luxury Baby Bo Peep in DK. You've just seen me put some minis in there, which I believe were from Vicky Brown's. So Vicky Brown Designs. There's quite a lot going into this box, and you just see more and more drop in, and then I have to keep rearranging it because it just simply doesn't fit. There is a lot more that goes into this box because I just have loads and loads of hand dyed yarn. Now this is not all of it either, there's quite a lot more available sort of darted around my home, but for now this is what I focused on, was just the bags and clearing them out of that space. So the big bag I just showed you was actually Castleview yarns, and it is all the minis from the mini Skein Club, which was the one with all the minis, which is friends based. So that whole bag is going to be a blanket for my sister, and I'm hoping to team it up with a plain DK as well, just to fill it up a bit in terms of space, and it's going to be a Battenberg blanket. As for the rest, I just kept finding more and more yarn, whether it was all caked up or in skein form, and so I just kept filling up boxes. I'm actually filling up both the 4-ply and the DK at the same time, the 4-ply being at the back,
So yeah, there's quite a lot of hand-dyed yarn here, and I really do need to try it and work through it a little bit faster, or perhaps make some larger projects so it does use it up a little bit more yarn. Then another tidy up and the lid goes straight on. So you can see I have already been working in the 4-ply. Here's another bag that I had wedged down the side near my printer. And I think there's some tencel in there as well. Anything that was more of a 4-ply or sock weight base has all gone into that box. And it is all hand dyed. I don't think I really buy anything 4-ply that isn't hand dyed. Sometimes it's by accident because I've bought the wrong one. Sometimes I just like that colour, so I've purchased that. The only other ones you can see I've just put in there were West Yorkshire Spinners, which are striped yarn, but they are 4-ply. So again, another quick tidy up, just to obviously move it around, try and fit as much in there as possible. And I did manage to put all that tencel in one bag as well. I'm sure I've got more, but I don't know where it is at the moment, so I'm definitely going to have another look around for what I do actually have. This box became quite full. I was quite surprised actually as to how much 4-ply I have. So now I've got them all stacked up, DK at the bottom, hand-dyed DK, hand-dyed sock weight and 4-ply, and then at the top random chunky balls and just oddments.
So we are on Monday. I have been to the dentist with my son this morning. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, so that's good. Basically I had a root canal done at the end of 2020. Yeah, 2020, and it had quite a big filling because a chunk of it broke off, where it's quite brittle. So I thought another bit had broken off, but apparently it's just a little bit of the filling that's gone. So it's not actually open or anything, which is good. But I might need to have a crown on it. So yeah, not booking that just yet. Need to actually save some money for that. So yeah, that's in my future. Booked Joey's next appointment for October, so that's all done, and I've stuck it to my calendar because I always forget. I either put it into my calendar on my phone, but because they give you a little printout, I decided that I was actually going to tape it to the calendar this year, the wall one, so I won't forget. Fingers crossed. Anyway, so we have since been to, where did we go? So after my living room is an absolute mess. So what did we do afterwards? We went to the range. I thought I'd stop in the range and see what they've got in terms of storage. I mean, they had clear boxes with clear lids, but I quite like the boxes I bought yesterday, so they didn't have anything like that. So I thought I would have a look around because I haven't been in there since they rearranged everything, and now all the craft stuff is upstairs. Yeah, so had a look at what they had to offer. I think I picked up a duvet which has got space themed print on it and it glows in the dark, so I thought that'd be really cool for some project bags. And I think I got a cross stitch kit and something else, and probably sweets from the range. And then I thought we'd go to, when I had to get petrol, so I filled up the car with petrol, so now I have a full tank, which will hopefully last me over at least half term because it's 2 weeks. I don't plan on going anywhere, not really, so actually that should be all right. And then went to, where did we go? Went to Morrison's, but I stopped at the car park for Aldi because it's free. I was going to have a look in Pound Stretcher and then realised that Pound Stretcher has long been gone and is no longer there. So popped into Aldi so that I didn't get fined for using a car park, and picked up some cross stitch kits that were in there. You know, they have those middle aisles with all the random stuff. Yeah, I got some in there. So I got 3 kits from there, and picked up some bacon, and I picked up a packet of tortelloni because we haven't had tortelloni for a long time and we really like it, and I haven't had a bacon sandwich in a long time. So picked up that from there, put that back in the car, left Joey in the car because he didn't want to come out, and went to Morrison's to pick up 4 new boxes so I can sort out the bags of fabric that were all behind me. And actually, they're almost full. I mean, I've got maybe 1 bag that's still got loads of fabric in it. The rest has all gone into the boxes. I think I've cleared out 4 or 5 bags, so that's really good. And I've organised it in a way so that I've got jersey fabrics in one, I've got the leftover jersey in another one with all the canvas material because it's quite thick and heavy, and then I've got one that's just got cottons and the other one's got things like satins and random other fabrics. So I've got loads of fabric I printed from university, which is velvet. Now, I'm not fond of working with velvet, but I think they might be quite nice as project bags if I stabilise them nicely. And I've also got like a really big piece of pink felt, got some burnout silk, and I found the rainbow square of fluffy fabric, so that has gone in there as well. There's still space in those, in the cotton box and the randoms box though. What I need to do next though is sort through all of the duvets I've got, because I'm not going to use them. I've got so many that I'd planned to make clothing with because they're really quirky prints, but it's just not happening. So anyway, I stopped doing my boxes. My room is a mess. I'll spin you around in a minute to have a look. But I decided that I was going to make us some lunch, so I have just done bacon sandwiches. I'm going to eat this first and then see what else I can do. So yeah, let's have lunch first. Alright, I now have 8 boxes. These 4 all have different types of fabric, and those 4 have different weights of yarn. But there's still all of this to sort out. A little bit fed up, really. So I have filled 4 boxes with yarn, 4 boxes with fabric. I've emptied, I don't know how many bags. I've got a large bag of bags, and it doesn't really look much different. And every time I try and do this, I get overwhelmed because there is so much stuff. I haven't bought fabric in a long time, and yet there is still loads of fabric in there. But clearly, I do keep buying yarn. So, other than the subscription stuff that I get each month, I don't think I am going to be buying anything unless I go to like an event. EAYF was a couple of weekends ago, and I spent way too much money. I had an absolutely amazing time, but I did spend a lot of money that I don't necessarily have. And yeah, I can see the radiator now at that end of the room. I haven't seen that for ages. So that's a start, but just fed up with doing it now. I've even found a craft box, random craft box. It's got ribbons in it. It's got some clips in it, some paint. I've got some sticky back glitter. I don't know. Getting annoyed with past me for just buying rubbish. I have thrown like scraps of fabric out that I'm not going to use, or fabrics that are like really screwed up where I haven't bothered to tidy up. So I've binned them. But I've also now lost a crochet hook, and it's the hook that I have been using for this, which is my Knit Pro 4mm, and I can't find it. I have a vague recollection of finding a ball of yarn, putting it in a bag, finding a 4mm hook and putting that in the bag with it, but I don't know where it's gone. So I just want to sit and crochet, but I can't find the hook for that one. And the other project I have that I could do, I have the Sophie blanket, I have the My Favourite Things blanket, but I wanted to do the mosaic crochet blanket. So I'm going to go through what is on the sofas at the moment, see if it's there. But my room is also freezing cold. It's got really cold outside and I don't want to put the heating on. So I'm really tired, obviously. Anyway, I'm going to put on my hoodie because it's nice and warm. It's not really an hoodie, it's from Llama Leisure, but it looks like an hoodie. It was a Christmas gift for me. Yeah, might even make a hot water bottle and put on some D&D because I don't want to do anything anymore. I just want to sit down and craft. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I've literally sat here for an hour scrolling on my phone and drinking a slightly lukewarm cup of tea, and there's still tea in it, so that's going in the sink. Just feels like a waste of a day because there's still so much over there to do. There is now a space on the desk, but yeah, I need like a whole day just to do the desk. I think haven't even attempted to go underneath it, which is what I really wanted to sort out, but I mean, I've got 2 weeks off. I could do it another day, but at the moment I'm just fed up with it, so I'm going to stop rather than work myself up again. So yeah, I'm going to warm up, get my crochet out. So I have moved the arm bowls from my little footstool to here because they're really pretty and they need to be on show, especially if I'm doing podcasts, and it frees up my little footstool a bit more as well, so it can actually be used as a footstool. There's still a mug of crochet hooks on it, but it's better than it was anyway. And although I haven't found my crochet hook, I've got an idea of where it might be. So I just need to find the project bag that I think I've put it in. And in the meantime, I have just been trying to tidy up where the arm bowls were, and thought I would put away some of these because I found some more here. They were in the arm bowl, so they need to go in a bag because they're for the other hippo that I've been doing. However, I've just found something that I've been looking for since Christmas, since Christmas. So I have a dice tray, and I had previously bought 2 sets of dice for me back in July, and prior to Advent they were living in the dice tray and I didn't know where I'd put them. Well, I have just opened this project bag which has been stuffed down the side, and lo and behold, my dice are in here. Which means I can put them back in the dice tray and get that out in use, because at the moment it just gets filled up with stuff. There we go, look. I love these, they're just so pretty. So I have found one thing that I was looking for, but I still have one other thing to find. Maybe if I keep going I might actually find it. In this bag though are the face scrubbies, little face wipes that I started making some time ago, and the pattern is in there, the hook is in there, there's even another ball of the cotton yarn in here, so I might sit and make some of those because they're really quick to do. Yeah, I might sit and do that. So I can do those because I can't do my blanket at the moment. Yeah, and I want to find something to put some of my badges on from, especially the badges I got from EOYF. So I want to find a project bag to put those on. I might just put them on the bag that I painted. I might just put them on those, on that one, because that's quite a nice one. But yeah, we'll do that. Despite the fact I have looked in this bag already, here's my knit pro hook. I think it's the 6th of April. Yes, it is the 6th of April. It is about 11:15. And I actually need to be getting myself ready to go out to the yarn shop. But I wanted to show you what I've been working on for the last few days. So I've been watching D&D on telly, on YouTube. And I've been knitting again. So Helen and Julie gave me a ball of Stylecraft and more to make up a sample for them for the shop. So I have been doing the Spring Fling Scarflet, which is by Gemma of the Midnight Diary. It's in a bit of a mess because I've just had to frog a bit, but, and ignore the grey yarn, that is my lifeline. I think it's coming on okay. I've so far completed 2 of the lace sections. I have the starting triangle, and there's a couple of garter sections in between as well. Now I got into the second repeat of the lace for the 3rd panel, and somehow didn't end up with the right number of stitches at the end of the row. And when I looked back, I was like, I don't know what I've done wrong. And I think it's because I was concentrating on D&D on telly. So what I did was put my needle through the stitches that have my lifeline in. Didn't matter what direction I was going because I could transfer it back anyway. And I ripped it back, which means I have all of this to re-knit. But if you've been here before, you'll know that if I'm knitting, I want it to be right. And I'm not very good at fudging stuff. So yeah, I'm really hoping this grows a lot quicker though. I don't think my patience is going to, I mean, it's a really easy pattern. It's super simple, and Gemma's instructions are really, really helpful. I don't think I'd be able to do it without the instructions that are there. And it's a free pattern as well. So I'll put the link down below if you want to go and get your own copy. It is available on Ravelry and Payhips. You don't have to go to Ravelry if you're not able to. But yeah, I like how it's working up. The stripes are quite nice in the yarn as well, which is good. And I like this detail here where all the chains, the loops sit on top of each other to make the trellis pattern. So that is what I've been doing. In the meantime, the Scrappy Club from Laura of The Lonely Knitter has arrived, and this one was themed around, they're not sitting in the packet right, but I have, is it 10? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 minis. They're all based around Stargate SG-1, and I love the TV program. I was obsessed with it when I was a teenager, and there's also a mirror that keeps popping up on my feed, both Facebook and Instagram, which is of the Shapa Eye, which is the big ring that is the gate. But I think it's only like this big, this mirror, but I love it and I really want it. But it's just too out of my price range at the moment. Yeah, something I really want to get. What I've also managed to do today is eat a whole pack of Pringles, because there's no one to stop me, and the Texas barbecue are actually quite moreish. So yeah, yesterday I had almost a bar of Scottish tablet. There's like less than a quarter left in now. Yeah, just sitting, vegging and eating and knitting. But other than that, not really an awful lot going on, to be honest. I went out last night to a friend's house, to a colleague's house, which was good. We had a good laugh. Yeah, I'm just really tired. Clearly I have not been getting enough sleep over the last, I don't know how many weeks, which is making my Easter half term quite tired, quite sleepy. But yeah, what I think I'm going to do is get myself ready. I've done no cross stitch at all. I have, however, opened up and sorted out some of the purchases I've made recently. So my Sheepy Things keyring is on my project bag. I have also put on there the pin that I got from Jibby Ruse down here. I've also got my bag of Sheepy Things stitch markers. I've put in the post-it notes and the looped stitch markers that I got in my advent from Emma. And I think that's it for this bag. I've tried to put them on bags that I think are kind of relevant. So I've also got on my Midnight Diary bag, I have got the Crit and Knit, the East Anglia badge, and the Crochet Addict one, which was from the Crochet Society Advent calendar, I think, that one. On the other side I have my Midnight Crochet Club patch as well, and I think I've put the Jurassic yarn on my Wooler yarn bag too. So stuff is getting put into places, which is quite nice. Really out of breath for some reason. Yeah. Right, so I need to turn this off. But it's really interesting. I need to turn this off, get myself in the shower, and get myself off to the yarn shop for about 12:30. Knit and Natter kicks off at 1 o'clock, and in order to make sure I get a space, Helen and Julie are quite happy for me to turn up around 12:30, so that is what I plan to do. And obviously take my knitting with me, but I want to take a crochet project too, because as I've already realised whilst doing this one, if I am concentrating on something else, then I screw it up. So I think I'm gonna take my panda kit from Toft and try and work that up today, because I've got the hook already in there ready to go. So yeah, I'm gonna try and do that today, and take my little bag of stuff in as well, so that I don't have to take the big bag. Like, what I like to try and do is from the big bag is take out bits of it and put it into a smaller bag, so that it is a bit more portable. Yeah, that's about it. I think until I'm going to keep knitting until I have finished this project, and then I will go on to something else, I think, because otherwise it won't get done. It has been worked up on 6mm needles, so it's got a really nice lace effect. Right, time to go and get myself ready and kind of wake up a bit. I had hoped to actually walk to the yarn shop, but then the heavens opened and it hasn't stopped raining, so I don't think I'll be walking, but it is only down the road, so it's not going to cost me an awful lot in petrol. But yeah, let's actually get on with today, shall we? Morning. It is still morning. It's like 11:20. It is very windy outside, which means this window is getting really breezy and drafty. So I've literally only just gone and got dressed. I've been sat here in a dressing gown all morning. I've watched an hour of episode 81 from campaign 2 of Critical Role, and realised that actually I've got quite a lot to do today. So I have already been online and been to the Kickstarter for Vicky Brown Designs Make 100 Skeins. I've picked up one from the last 2 years and put in for this year as well. But the emails always go to my old email address, so I've checked that. There wasn't one there, so I went straight to Kickstarter and have completed the survey. So that's one thing off my list of things to do today. And what else do I need to do? I need to contact the doctors because I've been meaning to do that for quite some time. So I will do that in a minute. I use their e-consult service, so I just fill it all in online and wait for them to contact me. Saves me trying to get through on the phones because that never works. And I might go through a couple of the bags that I've got which are filled with magazines to see what I'm actually going to be using at some point, and maybe take the rest to the yarn shop so that people can, I don't know, put a donation in the tin for each magazine, I guess, because I'm not going to use them and they are taking up space, so people get to actually use them and the yarn shop gets a little bit of funding as well. Right, on top of that, I was at the yarn shop pretty much all day yesterday. I got there about 12:30ish and I left at around 10:30 because I like to help out and they don't like to kick me out. So once everyone had gone, I had offered to put up a Kallax unit for them so they've got a bit more storage in the shop. So I did that for them. It was only a 2x2 and it took maybe 20 minutes to put together, which was quite handy. We had no hammer, but we did find a plank of wood in the shed, so I used that as a little hammer and that worked fine. So yeah, so I put that together. That then went into the outside area and we had to move the table and all the chairs, and then we filled it up with the patterns, so the pattern files, so that people don't have to go into the shop as such to find them because they were kind of in the corner. This way they're outside already and people can easily get to them without having to sort of stand in a corner, and they always take them outside anyway to look at the table, so yeah, makes it a bit easier and convenient. That's the other word I was looking for. So there's that. I also aided in helping set up their display wall, so they've got one big wall of cubby holes, and Julie had bought loads of decorations, so we were busy decorating the room for Easter. And it looks so cute, like really cute. What else did we do? A little bit of rearranging of stock inside. And then after Julie had gone, I sat and helped Helen with a shawl pattern that she was working on as well. And made up a tiny sample of the first few rows so that if anyone else was to take a look at it, they could see what it would look like at the start, close up. Yeah, then rather than actually working on the projects I took with me to do, so throughout the day I had done one more repeat of the spring fling scarflet that I was working on. So let me show you that. So I'm using a ball of Amour, which is Starcraft Aran. I have got a lifeline in here. I've now got 3 lace sections and the one point at one end. I've done the garter section, so I'm ready to do the next lace section. But because it was so busy yesterday, and there was a lot of conversations going on, and some people were counting. I was like, I'm going to put this down so I don't make any mistakes, because in the morning I'd already ripped this panel back to the garter section, purely because I'd done something wrong here and the numbers didn't match up. So I was like, I'm not pulling it back again and redoing it. So yeah, I have 3. I don't know how much yarn is left though. There's still quite a ball, so I don't know how many repeats I'm going to get before it starts to look finished. I then took a crochet project with me because I knew at some point I would have to put the knitting down, and have been working on making a panda from Edward's Menagerie, which is this book from Toft, Kerry Lord. I am doing Fiona the Panda, who is on page 50. Here is the panda. She is so cute. So I have been working on that one. I have so far made a body. There's her little body. And I started doing the head. So I think I'm only 1 round into the actual head pattern. The rest is just the basic starter bit. So that's that one. But what I realised is I've actually got 100 grams of charcoal in here. So I think what I've ended up doing is buying the yarn to make the panda, and then buying this to make the badger, because the badger is in the charcoal colour. But also you don't need an awful lot of the cream for the badger, so whatever is left over from making the panda will go into the badger. And I have been using my Sheepy Things stitch markers just to help me keep count of those. So what I should have done last night is continued with the panda. However, I had also, during my tidy up the other day, come across some patterns that I picked up at Waltham Abbey Wool Show in 2020 from Made by Penguins. So I have a baby bunny. I have the Brian Penguin, because everyone knows I love the Brian Penguin by Lex and Stitches. And I have one for the heart bauble pattern. So I decided to make the bunny last night. And I currently have, so as of last night I'd made the body, so that's his feet and neck, and I'd made the head. So, and I've put safety eyes in just because I prefer them to trying to embroider. And then this morning I have made both arms. There's the other arm. I've made both arms, and I have started on an ear. So I'm well on the way to getting the bunny finished. Because I believe the yarn, this is donated yarn, and I believe it is Aaron, because it's working out quite big. So I'm going to try and finish off the bunny first, because he's the most complete, and then maybe do some more of the panda, and at least get the head done from the panda and put the eyes in, because I've made the eye patches, but again I want to use safety eyes. So I made the eye patches first, so that once I get past the towards the muzzle part where his nose is, I can then put the eye patches on and put the safety eyes in as well, and not have to try and worry about how to get them on after. So there is that, and then I might do some more of the knitting. That's my plan in terms of craft wise anyway. In addition to that, I need to do some washing, because it is half term and I'm the only one that ends up really doing any washing. So I need to do that. I think that'll do for the moment in terms of today's plans. So we'll see what I actually manage to do. At some point I also need to try and scrub the bathroom and the kitchen. So yeah, there are lots of things to be getting on with. Also, Julie's daughter wanted this kit, which is Frank Rabbit, from the new Hardycraft kits that they have got in stock at my local yarn shop. And I also want to make the bunny, but I don't necessarily need the bunny, so I offered to make it for her daughter, because I do have some other Shipyer's Katona that I could make another bunny with potentially, and then obviously I'll get the pattern as well from that. So yeah, at some point I will make another bunny rabbit. That's what I could have been doing last night, but I decided to make the smaller one instead. Yeah, and I guess today's reminder is just to be kind. This is where I am at today. I didn't think this t-shirt would still fit, but apparently it does, so yay. Yeah, I'm gonna sit. No, I'm not. I'm gonna go put some washing on, get my laptop out and contact the doctors, and then I'm gonna sit and crochet with D&D on. Bye. Morning. It is now the 9th, Saturday the 9th. Yesterday I pretty much just did a couple of crochet pieces and then worked on the samurai. So I have put, I think, 3 hours into the samurai. I'm mostly working like up here, but I have done a bit of filling in there as well, and I've gone up the middle as well for his robe, so that's coming on. I'm still way behind on my 100 days, but I'm just doing an hour and calling it a day. I have also, I finished my little bunny, but I feel like he kind of looks like a mouse or a rat or something, but he does have a pom-pom tail. So yeah, he is from Wee Woolly Wonderfuls. I believe it's a free pattern, designed to use Aran yarn from Made by Penguins. So I'll put the details for that down below for you. But yeah, I have a bunny rabbit in time for Easter. And then, as I mentioned before, I was going to work on my Toft Panda, who is called Fiona, and Fiona is now finished. Now what I have done is put safety eyes in, because it doesn't really include eyes, it just has the eye patches, but I thought no, she needs eyes, so that's what I've done. I feel like the head is maybe a bit too high and needs to come down a bit, but yeah, quite pleased with her. She's a bit wobbly, and she doesn't sit up either, she kind of just flops forward, but get a little tail. Yeah, no, I really enjoyed working on her. Today my husband has a friend coming round, and then I think they're going to like do a puzzle and eat pizza, and I'm going to head off to the yarn shop, and I've got 3 projects I could do. So I could either continue working on the knitted shawl, the knitted scarflet that I've been working on as a shop sample, or I could do Frank the Rabbit, which is one of the Hardycraft kits, or I could work on my mosaic blanket, the magic carpet cowl. So those are my 3 projects to take with me, basically just to decide when I get there as to what takes my fancy a bit more. So there's that, but I also need to actually edit the spring vlogs and put them together, as well as a couple of other videos that need to be edited and put up. I started doing 2 of them the other day. Well, at least I put them into an editing file. I need to actually sit down and go through it and edit it properly, but I don't know whether to save that for this evening and do it tonight or not, because that's what I planned to do last night, and we ended up watching Stuba, which I'd never heard of before. It's a Dave Bautista film, and one of the guys from the Eternals, as stew. It's completely and utterly bonkers. Completely bonkers. Anyway, whilst watching that, I just did the Mighty Samurai, so I didn't actually get to do my editing that I planned to do last night. In other news, doctors rang me back, but I'd missed their call, so I had to ring them back, and now I have an appointment for Monday, so I'll see how that goes. Not entirely sure what they're going to tell me, but there we go. I'll find out on Monday. Yeah, other than that, I've had breakfast already. I've just had a shower, hence the towel. I think, nope, it's not dripping down my back, so it's fine. My hair's not that wet, so I can go and hairdry that and then get myself ready. I've done some washing this week as well. Yeah, it's been okay at the moment. Yeah. So I will probably see you a little bit at the shop, maybe. Might do a little bit of recording now. Otherwise I will see you later.